Then the next is nominal GDP. This refers to the monetary value or the money value of all final goods and services produced within a country by both nationals and foreigners in a given year, expressed in current year prices. We know the meaning of current year prices there. So please take note, whatever is highlighted there must be included in your definition, such that if they ask you to distinguish between some of those terms, you can be able to clearly distinguish. We move on to the next term there, which is the real per capita income. What does it mean? We already know the meaning of per capita income. Real per capita income refers to the average income of individuals in a country in a year, expressed in base year prices. Expressed in base year prices. And then the next is nominal per capita income. This refers to the average income of individuals in a country in a year, expressed in current year prices. So you can see the distinction there is current year and base year. So be very what? Be very careful there. The next is real national income. What does it mean? This is the monetary value of all final goods, or you can say it's the money value of all final goods and services resulting from productive activities of a country in a given period of time, usually 1 year, expressed in base year prices. And nominal national income refers to the money value of all final goods and services resulting from productive activities of a country in a given period of time, usually 1 year, expressed in current year prices. Take note of the spelling of nominal. There is no R there, please. There is no R, so don't include the R there. So that's it for cost of living. We have discussed quite a lot in cost of living index. We started with the cost of living, definition of cost of living. We defined that, and we have seen how cost of living is measured. That is by use of the price index. And we have seen how price index is computed. We have seen the procedures taken to compute price indices. And we also say that when you are explaining or describing the procedures, you must follow the procedures clearly. Do not alter any step there. If you alter the step, then everything changes. So follow the procedures clearly. Then we have seen why is it necessary to compute price indices. That we have discussed as well. We said that we need to be careful when you're explaining that as well. And we have seen how to adjust nominal national income to real national income. So that is it. You should be able to answer any question that comes around that area. Any questions before we move on to the next? Any questions? Rita, Annette, Stephen.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Stephen?
Yes, teacher.
Any questions? Okay, Stephen seems to have gone off. Annette?
Yes, teacher.
Any question?
No.
Okay. Please, you ask in case anything is not clear. You ask. Stephen, you are back. If there is anything disturbing, you ask now, right now, so that when you go to read, things are very clear, things flow. If you don't ask questions, when it comes to reading by yourself, things become quite difficult. Okay, if there are no questions, we can proceed to our next discussion, which is income distribution and income inequality. What do we mean by income distribution? Now, income distribution refers to the spread out in an economy, the spread out of income among different groups of people in an economy. The spread out of income among different groups of people in an economy. Okay. Now, we say it is a spread out of income. However, we find that the different groups of people in the economy have different levels of income. That is why we have what we call the income gap, income disparity, or income inequality. That's why you hear of such words, okay? Much as we say income is spread out to different groups of people. But we have different groups of people having different incomes, okay? So that takes us to what we call income inequality. What does it refer to, okay? Income inequality refers to the uneven distribution of income among people, where a few people are rich or poor. Or in the other case, you can find that the majority of the people are poor or rich, depending on which economy these people are in. In the Ugandan economy, you'll find that a few people are rich and the majority are poor. In other economies, you'll find that a majority are rich and a few are poor. So it depends on which economy these people are in. So it's very important that you take note of that. In most LDCs, if I can put it that way, there are few people who are rich and the majority are poor, okay? Now, in economic analysis, income inequality is presented on a graph where you have GDP or national income is plotted on the y-axis. When I say y-axis, it looks like this. Let me just illustrate it for you here. Something like this. Yes. So you have GDP here, or national income, GNP, like we are talking about there, or you can say GDP. And then on the horizontal axis, we have population. And so ideally, income is supposed to be distributed equally in that order. But you find that what happens? You find that you have a curve of that nature. And that curve is called the Lorenz curve. What does it show? Okay. This graph shows what percentage of GDP is shared out by a given size of the population. What percentage of the GDP is shared out by a given size of the population. That's why you have the population below there, like that. So that is what we call a Lorenz curve. This is called a Lorenz curve. So this helps to show what we call income inequality. So it looks like that. When you move to the books, you are going to see it represented in that order. On the vertical axis, you have GDP or GNP, which is national income. And the horizontal axis, you have what we call population. So that is how national income, or not national income, income inequality is illustrated in that order. Okay, I've drawn a bigger diagram, but that is how it looks like. When you go to the textbooks, you see how the curve looks like that. Like I said, I repeat, the graph shows what percentage of GDP is shared out by a given size of population. As you proceed, you are going to study in details how that curve operates when you move ahead. But at this